Hey everyone, Ryan Groton here, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you guys through 3 things that you can be doing in your gym sessions day to day to just make your gym sessions a lot quicker and a lot more effective. But before we get into the 3 really simple things, I just want to introduce to you guys my very own online free community where I help guys, skinny guys in particular, bulk and gain muscle as efficiently as possible beyond these YouTube videos. If that sounds like it ticks all your boxes, then it'll be the top link in the description. I'd love to see you in there, but without further ado, let's get into this video. So the first thing that I want to go over is, as I said, all of these things are extremely simple, but the first thing, you just want to know what you're doing before you go into the gym. You want to have a plan and you want to have a routine. And if you don't have a plan or you don't have a routine, when you get onto the gym floor, when you go through the entrance, you're going to start to think in your brain, what on earth am I doing today? And then you're going to start to get stressed, you may start to get confused, and you may start to get a little bit lost because there's so many machines in your gym. It's going to become overwhelming if you don't have a plan. And another thing as well, you're not going to be in the zone. You're not going to be in the right mindset to have a good session. In order to have a good session, you've got to obviously, you want to know what you're going to be doing, right? Therefore, you're going to, in your head, you're going to mentally think about the exercises, the sets, the reps you're going to do in order to attack the weight and absolutely destroy the muscle you're training. However, if you get into the gym and you have absolutely no plan, you may do a bit of shoulders, you may do a little bit of legs, you may do a bit of biceps, you may do a little bit of a full body, but you don't really have any rhythm, you don't really have any routine, then you are not going to have a good session because you're not going to be in the zone because you don't know what you're doing, alright? And as the old saying goes, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And another one for you, the 6 P's, which I teach to guys in my free community. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Okay, so that's the first thing. Just make sure you have a plan, make sure you know what you're doing. What I'd highly suggest you do, what I like to do is plan out my session the night before, or just sort of solidify the exercises and doing obviously the muscle groups as well, because as I said, if you don't know what muscle groups you're going to be doing, then you can't get into that zone, that mental zone, and that mental zone is super important for a good session. So yeah, I'll just sit down for 5 to 10 minutes the night before or an hour before you go to the gym, know what you're doing, and then get in the zone, my friends. So number 1, have a plan. Number 2 and number 3 sort of link, but I'll go through number 2 first. So no phone. Alright, and I'm not saying that you've got to leave your phone at home. I'm not saying that, you know, you've got to leave your phone in your bag upstairs. I mean, you can if you want to, because that's a pretty good idea. But, you know, if anyone else in your family or any of your friends contact you in an emergency, obviously you want to be answering the phone. However, what I mean by no phone is when you're resting mid-set, you know, when you've just finished one set and you've got, what, 2 minutes until your next set, don't pick up your phone and just be scrolling all the time on Instagram or TikTok, or, you know, checking your messages, because A, it's going to distract you, and B, when you're on your phone, it's so good at sort of making you forget about the world around you. Therefore, you're going to lose your perception of time, okay? When it may feel like 2 minutes, in reality, it's been 15 minutes because you've been in your phone. And that's the bad thing about it these days. When you're in your phone, you have no idea what's going on around you, all right? And it's pretty dangerous, all right? I'm not saying it's dangerous if you do it in the gym, but you're just not going to have a good session, because if you're resting for too long unintentionally because you're on your phone all the time, then your muscles are going to get cold, therefore you're going to lose your pump, you're not going to be in the zone, you're going to be overstimulated, and you're sort of going to forget where you are, and it's sort of just going to send the quality of the session downhill, alright? So what I would highly suggest for you is, if you don't have the discipline to not go on your phone, either airplane mode or do not disturb in a session, and just let your friends and your family know that when you go to the gym, you're most likely not going to, reply, or you may reply once or twice, right? I'd highly suggest for you having, one like 2 minute block if you really need to reply to family and friends to reply, and that's it. Because it's so distracting, and as I said, that mental zone, getting in the zone, is super important for a good session. So that's number 2, okay? And number 3, as I said, it links to the phone, alright? So you can go on your phone for this one, but you can't go on all them stupid dopaminergic apps, alright? But this one is timing your rest periods, all right? Timing your rest periods extremely important, because as I said earlier, not just when you're on your phone, but in general, if you don't have a clock, or um, if you don't have access to the time, it is really easy to lose perception of it. Therefore, if you don't time your rest periods, it can be really easy to either overestimate or underestimate the amount of time you've been resting for. Therefore, you can end up resting for too long, or in some cases, well, this is for me especially, I need to get better at it. Sometimes I rest for a too short amount of time and I don't rest enough. Therefore, timing your rest periods is extremely important. Just go on a clock app on your phone or whatever. Get a stopwatch app. Get a stopwatch up. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're resting for 1 minute, put a timer on for 1 minute. If you're resting for 2 minutes, put a timer on for 2 minutes, and then you're going to be resting for the perfect amount of time. And it's going to be consistent week after week, because what can happen sometimes, right, is 1 week someone does a certain weight and a certain reps on one exercise and they rested for 2 minutes. However, next week they find that they do the same weight, however they get less reps. But what they don't take into account is that they rested for a shorter amount of time and they didn't rest enough. Therefore, they obviously got less reps with the same weight they did last week. Therefore, that can lead to them thinking that they need to go down in weight. Therefore, they go down in weight, which is not an accurate representation of their progress. Okay, so what I would highly suggest for you in order to make your sessions quick and effective is, one, know what you're doing before you go into the gym. Have a plan. Know what exercises you're doing. Obviously, know what muscle groups you're hitting, because that's the very first layer of the foundation. And then know what your sets you're doing, know what reps you're doing, so you can get in that mental zone and you can lock in when you get in the gym. Number 2, no phone, or just switch it on do not disturb or airplane mode. As I said, you can have a couple of periods in your session where you can reply to family and friends if you really want to. And as I said, someone may contact you in emergency, so you can always have your phone on standby. But what I'm trying to say is, don't go on them stupid apps like Instagram and TikTok that will make you lose perception of time and the real world during your session, because that will just get you out of that mental place that you need to be. And then number 3, obviously you can go on your phone, but as I said, don't go on Instagram and all that stuff, but you can time your rest periods. So the clock app is going to become your new best friend. So that is now the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, you're going to take notes and you're going to take action on these 3 things if you haven't already, then I'll really appreciate it if you drop a like, a comment, and maybe a cheeky little subscription below, so you can stay around for more videos. I post every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. So we are Mr. Consistency in 2025. I'm trying to bring as much value to as many people like you as possible. Comment down below any feedback, any constructive criticism, what you found good about this video, what what I'm shit at doing in these videos. All right, anything will not go unnoticed. Any potential video ideas? Well, I don't get many comments anyway, so I'll see them and I'll read them and I'll reply to you. All right, so without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video.